Hi, my name is Tammy, and I wanted to give you a little bit of my story, my testimony. Starting out as a young child, I didn't have the typical bringing up of a mother and father. I lost my father when I was 5 because of cancer, and then growing up, I just had my mom. She had one other marriage and, some different relationships, but in the end, it was just my mom, me, and my brother. As we were growing up, she went through some things that changed all of our lives. She always taught us to know God. We were in and out of different churches, but in the end, we didn't have that close true relation with God. When I was about 13, I was physically abandoned. My mother went through some trauma in her own life that caused her to go down a dark path. In that time frame, God always placed different people in our life that impacted us in different ways. He, always made sure that we were surrounded by certain people that we needed, but, you always seek wonder why. For some reason, though, God always led me not to go down that path of destruction because I knew what it could cause and I had seen what it had done in our lives. In that time frame, I was reintroduced to my now husband. I met him in middle school, and then we became close friends in high school and started dating. After that time frame, when my mother left us, it was a very rocky road for finding myself, finding who I belonged to. It was very rough. In the end, I ended up being on my own at age 15. My husband and I, at the time that, like I said, we were dating, we moved out on our own and continued through high school, continued to work, continued to do what we had to do to get on our own feet. But again, we were adolescents. In that time frame, towards the end of high school, we were introduced to Lionsgate Worship Center through some friends. And Clifton Mathis and his wife, Leah, definitely helped us tremendously find God and find Him the right way. I definitely knew God throughout my life, but I never truly knew Him. I rededicated myself to God, and my husband was saved, and we were baptized here in the church. And throughout that time, obviously, Clifton introduced Roman to what marriage was and the importance of marriage, and of course, we got married. After that, we have obviously had worldly struggles. We've had to figure out marriage at a very young age, figuring out things that not typical married people have to go through because usually they're not set up for failure from the beginning. But we definitely grew together and grew through Christ, and that's the only way we got through. About 2 years ago, at Next Level Church, we went to a Sons and Daughters conference. That conference definitely changed my life. I received sonship at that conference. They started out by talking about parents and the roles of parents, having the mother or father or someone to console you, someone to be there to rely on, someone to just hold you in those times where you needed help. And I didn't have that. I definitely always seeked that love and forgiveness and consoling through my life. Thankfully, not through dark roads, but it was never hard. Leading up to that conference, I was having a hard time with my relationships. It was things that it was, just times where I could not get through them on my own. And I decided to just give them over to the Lord. And I literally said, God, it's not me who can talk to these people or do what they need to do to help our relationship. I have to give it over to you and completely let you take hold. And God revealed a lot to me after that time. The pastor's wife talked about, the Lord being a God that you can just sit in His lap and just let Him hold you. And at that time, I just threw my hands up and I just gave in to God. And I said, God, I want you to hold me. I need to be healed from all this trauma in my life. And you're the only one that can do it. It was through that time that I definitely went through a life-changing moment where God revealed so many relationships in my life that wasn't even necessarily parental, that I needed to release to God in order to heal and to further my relationship with Him. And it's trying to tell you a spiritual connection in the physical manner that is not the easiest. It's almost like, you love God, you know God, but do you truly have that connection with Him that no matter the things that come along in life, does it make it easier? The best way I can explain it is I have been through some of the similar situations after receiving sonship that I had before sonship that now are almost like it doesn't matter. They're not easy, but I can rely on God on a whole nother level, that I can just lean into Him and know that it's going to be okay. I can just say, of course this is not easy. I want you to help me, but it's going to be all right. And God's going to bring us out on the other side. And all that time that I didn't know that true relationship with God, I always seeked the parental and the spiritual connection, just like an orphan. Like I felt like I didn't belong. And it wasn't that anybody in this world could do anything, because everything had already been traumatized. But God, He always was there. But it was me accepting His love in a whole nother manner, to embrace His love, to be able to lean into Him and understand that He was always there and that He always loved me no matter who I was or what I did. And God wants that for everyone. He wants that sonship. He wants you to lean into Him and to know that He is always there, no matter what has happened in your life, no matter what is going to happen. When you receive sonship, you have something that you will never be able to let go of. You have that deeper connection with Him, that you can just lean into Him and just embrace His love. And after that time, I just threw up my hands in worship, and I gave it my all. I mean, I felt like I was standing with my arms up, but I felt like I was on my knees or in His lap, literally curled up in a little ball, and everything around me stood still. It's something that I will never forget, and it's something that I believe everyone should have. And if you don't have sonship, I truly pray and hope that you seek it, because it will make your life that much different.